Zemsa, Puka.
Good to see you, lad. Sir Hanush told me you won his tourney. Good job, Henry.
Sir, my investigation led me back to Skalitz, and I happened across a criminal there. I just wanted to report to you, sir, that I dealt with that murderer. He attacked me and, well, I got the better of him. He won't be doing any more harm to anyone.
That was a brave deed, Henry. Thank you. I see you've been doing an excellent job in my service. I sent a patrol there some time ago, and they never returned.
Father, can I ask you about something?
Of course, Henry.
I thought since we drove Toth out of the province, things would be better. I mean that the roads would be safer and so on, and, well, that's not entirely the case.
Ah, the naivety of youth. Driving him out of the province was only the start. He left a lot of cutthroats behind, and they'll be sticking to their trade. What's more, as long as there's a war going on, problems like this will keep coming up.
Well, what can we do about it?
Not an awful lot, unfortunately. My garrison is a shamble these days. I lost most of my men in Skalitz, and what I'm left with after Pribyslavitz is hardly enough even to guard Pigstein. Let alone guarding the roads and patrolling the rest of the province. I simply don't have the men.
Uh-huh. I understand.
That is, I didn't have the men. As it happens, you've come at just the right time. Recently, I asked an old acquaintance for help. Sir Kuno of Rickwald and his mercenary band. The men who ride with him are a rough lot, mostly former convicts, but they're as capable as any squad of soldiers.
Well, excuse me for being so bold, but there's plenty of mercenaries around. Surely you can find a more respectable band?
You have a point, lad, but I'd like to tell you I talked to Kuno because I trust him. But actually my reasons are of a more pragmatic nature. You see, Kuno owes me a favor, so he'll serve me free of charge.
So, you want me to join them?
Yes, but that's not all. I told Kuno I'd send him a guide, but really what I need is for someone to keep a close eye on him and his men. Someone reliable. And I'd say you fit the part. Go and report to him at his encampment. You'll ride with his band on patrols and make sure they don't get too disorderly.
Who is this Sir Kuno of Rickwald?
He's the last baron of the House of Rickwald, which became impoverished. So he took to the mercenary trade, like many poor noblemen do, unless they become robbers, which often isn't all that different. He's certainly an entertaining companion, but as a mercenary, well, let's just say he has his own particular approach to certain matters.
That sounds a little worrying.
Oh, it's nothing too bad. Just that now and again he needs reminding not to step over the line.
How is he indebted to you?
I did him quite a big service, actually. I saved him from the hangman.
Oh, that sounds like quite a story. How did it happen?
You should ask him. You'll be spending quite a while riding together, so it'll help pass the time. But one thing I can tell you, he seems to have taken inspiration from me. A lot of his men had their own encounters with the executioner too.
All right, I'll go and report to him.
Excellent. He set up camp between Ratai and Ledechko. It's a good base for covering the province. Good luck, Henry. And watch out for yourself.
I will, sir. Thanks.
Take care.
I'll be with you. I'm looking for Sir Kuno. Sir Kuno? Baron Rickwald. Isn't this his camp?
You won't get nothing out of him. You must be Radzig's man. I heard he was supposed to send someone.
Yes, Sir Radzig sent me as a guide. I'm Henry.
I'm Jakey. And this here fella, we call the Stone.
I can see why. What's up with him? Cat got his tongue?
No, more like the dog got it. The executioner's dog. When the executioner ripped it out of him. Anyway, you better come along with me. I'll introduce you to the other fellas. And the chief. These here are the Bearman brothers. Petter and Jan. They're a barrel of laughs. Except when they're too drunk to string two words together. Like now. Don't get on the wrong side of them, though. When their blood is up, well, it ain't a pretty sight.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, I'm sure.
Never mind the fancy poses, Stefan. You're trying to kill the fucker, not teach him how to dance. And you, Dangler, stand your ground. Don't let him lead you round by the nose.
Sir? Well, sir, this is Henry. From Lord Kobler.
Ah, it's about time Radzig got round to this. We need someone who knows their way around these parts. Leave off with the bowing and curtsying. We don't hold with that tomfoolery here. Jakey! Where the hell are you sneaking off to? Go to the farm and get water. The lads are thirsty.
But I went last time.
And you'll go next time, you ungrateful pup. Get your ass moving. Snot-nosed brat. You pull them out of a pile of shit, and they thank you with back talk. Where were we? Oh yeah. We need a guide who knows these parts. So I hope I can rely on you, Herman.
It's Henry.
Right. As I said to Radzig, I don't want to carry any dead weight. We could find ourselves in some very tight situations where every sword counts.
I know how to handle a sword, all right?
I've heard a lot of fellas say that. They still ended up on the wrong end of one. We'll find out. Stefan, take a break. Dangler, let's find out what Harold here can do.
Sure. No problem, Chief.
Psi, dear. Shit! You didn't fare badly at all, I must say. You can ride with us.
All right, good. Thanks.
Don't thank me yet. You don't know what you're letting yourself in for.
Sir Kuno, can you tell me something about yourself?
Drop the sir. That title brought me nothing but grief. But what do you want to know?
Sir Radzig told me the Rickvold family lost its wealth. How did that happen?
There's all sorts of ways to become impoverished. Nothing easier. Especially when your father's a fool. And your mother's mad as a bat.
Oh.
but it's a long and twisted story. We took our name from Rickval Castle, but that actually belonged to the convent of the Poor Clares in Tynitz, and my father only leased it. You see, he knew the abbess there since they were young. Knew her very well. There was even talk that she only joined the order because her family wouldn't let her marry him. Anyway, whether he was fucking her right there in the convent, or he just took a lot of interest in scripture, he spent an awful lot of time in Tynitz.
Well, nobles can be very devout sometimes.
Not my old man. He cursed like a tanner's hand. More than once, he threatened to take a whip to our parish priest. Anyway, my mother never had strong nerves. Truth be told, her sanity was always shaky. Pa's escapades drove her cuckoo entirely. Then, one frosty December morning, I was woken by screaming and smoke. I looked out the window. I saw my mother there, in the courtyard, wreathed in flames. Behind her, the stables, the farm buildings and the tower were burning too. And she just stood there, shrieking with laughter.
Christ, that sounds like a scene straight out of hell.
Hellish it was, I can tell you. Me and my sister Adela and a few servants managed to get out before the whole place went up. I couldn't get to my father. Or my little brother. The lad was only 7. My sister and I were left destitute after the fire. Then my cousin, Adam of Drevich, took us into his castle. A few weeks later, he offered to buy what was left of our estates and sell me a small fortress near a Kovnik. It was a great relief. We suddenly had some hope of a future again. So I told my sister about it. And it was the biggest mistake of my life. A week later, the two of them announced to me they were getting married. And all that was left of our estates, lands, woods, villages, Adela was to get it all as a dowry.
But surely that was for you to decide. You were the head of the family, right?
Aye. Only I barely had 17 years under my belt, and I'd just lost everything. Of course, I argued with them, and that was the only excuse they needed to kick me out of Drevich too.
That's pretty harsh.
You're telling me. But I'm not complaining. As my pa always used to say, if you could turn your hand to something, you'll never be lost. I doubt it ever crossed his mind how often I'd remember those words.
What about your debt to Sir Radzig? How did that come about?
A twist of fate, lad. I was fighting in the hostilities between the House of Schallenberg and the town of Colleen. Some trade dispute it was, and I fought under the Schallenberg colours. In the end, the two sides negotiated a truce, and I rode to Colleen with the delegation that was to parley there. We stopped off at an inn on the way, and it was there that I met Radzig Kobyla. I could tell at first sight he was a man after my own heart. A likeable rogue, with a sharp mind and a merry soul. We spent the whole night drinking together and talking, and in the morning we set off together, with sore heads, but in good temper, since he was travelling the Colleen same as I was. Only, once we reached the city gates, they arrested me on the spot. Seems the burghers had it in for me, since I'd been making their lives hell for a good 6 months. On the other hand, I was a member of the peace delegation, so by rights, they shouldn't have even looked at me sideways. And then it hit me why Radzig was there. Colleen is a royal city, so he was there to represent the king's interests.
I see. So he was on the other side.
That's right. Anyway, they threw me in a dungeon, and a few days later, word reached me that the Schallenbergs had reached an agreement with the burghers. Only part of the deal was they would give them my head. And I'd surely have ended my days swinging from the town battlements if it hadn't been for Radzig. He liked me, and he could see it was a dirty trick, so he somehow squared things with the city council.
Lucky for you.
Indeed. I owe my life to Radzig, and I'll never forget it. He's asked me twice before for help. This is the 3rd time, and how could I refuse him?
I'd like to ask about your men.
Ask away.
What about the fellow they call Dangler?
I've never ridden with a better man, I can tell you. He doesn't say a lot, but for that, he listens all the better. Nothing escapes him.
So he scouts for you?
Not just that. It's happened more than once. I was closing a deal with someone, and Dangler told me after that he didn't like the smell of the fella nearly every time he was right. And the fellow tried to stab me in the back afterwards.
Those Behrman brothers are quite a pair.
Indeed they are. There's no more mercy in them than in, well, a bear. If I told them to skewer you on the spot, they'd do it, without batting an eyelid.
Jesus.
Oh, aye. They'd argue first about which one of them got to do the job. But they're as obedient as a huntsman's dogs. Real soldiers. A pair of them. Reliable. As long as they don't get too drunk. Then there's no keeping them under control. But nobody's perfect.
What can you tell me about Stefan?
Fletching? For one thing, he's a very resourceful fellow.
How did he come to join your band?
Well, let's just say he was in the right place at the right time. You'll find he has quite a knack for that.
What exactly happened?
Sorry, I'd love to tell you the whole story, but I'd be betraying his trust.
Oh, now you've got me curious. Maybe I should ask him myself.
Sure, why not? Our Fletch does love to converse.
What about that dumb one? How did he end up with you?
The stone? Oh, he just kind of tagged along.
Just like that?
Aye, just like that. We were riding from Olomouc to a castle past Kladsko, when we ran into him and some other wayfarers camping along the way. You know how it goes. We made acquaintance with them, had a drink or two. Then we travelled on together. After all, there's safety in numbers.
I'm not sure I'd be thinking that if I ran into you lot on the road.
We might have done some things I ain't proud of. But wayfarers are sacred even for me. Anyway, our fellow travellers dropped off along the way. One in Mohelnitz, one in Schoenberg, and the rest in Kladsko. Except for the stone. He stuck with us the whole way. The fellas kept asking him what he was after. Of course, he never said a word. When we were approaching Barsdorf, I ordered the men to get rid of him. I had some business at the castle, and I didn't want any strangers sticking their noses in. Stefan tried to tell him nicely, but he just sat there, staring like he was turned to stone. That's when we gave him the name. Then the Behrman brothers tried to get him off his horse. He booted Jan in the face and knocked him out cold. Then he jumped down and felled Petter with one punch. A man who can do that is a man you want on your side. So we kept him.
Weren't you worried about having a stranger in your band? Especially one who didn't talk.
No, I figured if he can't talk, he can't tell. Besides, I've had worse.
What about Jakey?
Jakey, that boy will be the death of me. You've got to be tough on him, or he's good for nothing. But I'm fond of him, in a way.
Like a son?
I wouldn't go that far. But I've no family of my own. And unlike those other cutthroats, he seems to me like a good lad.
Yeah, you're pretty hard on him, though. And the others keep him on his toes, too.
The boy needs a firm hand. I was like him once, and I got the same too. If we let him be, we'd end up with a third bear man. And who'd want that?
True. 2 is more than enough. Should we ride out?
Aye, we ought to set out on patrol about now. Hope you've got your kit ready and whatnot. I'd like to head to the north. Is there anything interesting that way?
North of here, Samapesh and Merhoyed are that way, and Talmberg is a bit further on. There's stables in Merhoyed.
I wouldn't mind paying a visit to those stables. We can go through there.
And from there?
From there, we'll follow our noses. Something interesting is sure to turn up. I feel it in my bones. Mount up and let's go.
Sure. Chief.
You know what I like best about days like this, Jan?
The scent of chamomile wafting from the hillsides.
Among other things.
Ah, like the rounded hills, rising, purple, all soft and pink in the sunlight.
And the fertile valley below, spreading wide and inviting.
Dew glistening in a mossy hollow.
The sweet aroma of honey in the air.
The sturdy poplar, standing tall and erect.
Aye, it reminds me of that day. That day when the two of us fucked Fletcher's ma.
Very droll. You'd make a stuffed bird laugh.
Your ma's a stuffed bird. I stuffed her myself.
I can't smell any chamomile.
Well, men, how are things?
May I?
Yes, Fletch?
How shall I put it? I'm a little concerned about the prospects in these parts, Chief.
Oh, how's that?
I've been looking around, and if you'll pardon me, it seems to me that we've been stuck for a long time in the arsehole of beyond.
It's not Paris, France, I'll grant you.
What I mean to say is, I haven't got any new kit, arrows, since the day Jakey joined us. It makes me uneasy, Chief.
I see. What about the rest of you?
I don't know what Fletcher's moaning about. There's plenty of booze and loose wenches nearby.
Not to mention fools in the taverns who don't know when to stop rolling those dice.
Dangler?
It's the arsehole of beyond everywhere we go. It always makes me uneasy.
Davey?
Fletch can complain. I was supposed to get a suit of armor, and all I got was a shitty kettle hat.
Sorry, but they don't do hauberks in girls' sizes.
Oh, but how did you get yours then?
All right, I appreciate your honesty, lad. Don't worry, there will be plunder. We're here to fight, to victor the spoils. That's how it's always been, but no purse of silver will shed blood for you on the battlefield. That's what this company is for. And I hope you never forget the golden rule. You can joke all you want, moan all you want, but nothing will keep your skins in one piece better than trusting your leader, who you choose by your own free will. So don't ever forget that.
Amen.
There's something going on over there.
Let's go. Behind me, keep your eyes peeled. What do you think we can expect this time, fellas?
Groschen, hidden in a piss pot under the bed. A nice chunk of beef. No one there will be eating.
On account of it'd just fall out through the holes in their bellies, eh, brother?
My mouth is already watering, brother, and I ain't even touched the purse yet.
Once you get your hands on some loot, I'll be happy to play you for your hard-earned grosh back at the camp.
Poor old Fletch. Never gets to see the action close up.
What about you, Dangler?
Yeah,
Fine.
utility in human suffering, like always.
Always full of good cheer, eh, Dangler? Why don't you take a leaf out of Stone's book? Shut the fuck up.
Jesus, I wish you'd all shut the fuck up.
No signs of resistance. They simply slaughtered them like animals. They weren't even armed. Looks like it happened fast.
almighty. Jesus Christ, what a massacre.
Still smouldering. Whoever torched it can't have got very far.
Did you find any tracks?
Some, a horse or two. They rode off through the meadow towards dawn. They were avoiding the road, which is interesting.
Towards dawn?
Meaning towards the east. Apart from the mounted ones, there were some men on foot too. Well weighed down.
Well, they can't move too fast then.
No. And what's more, they left a trail of blood. One or more of them might be wounded. Either that, or they dragged off some poor bastard from here.
Nice work. Thanks.
What a pile of shit. I wonder if they found anything valuable at all. Poor creature. Hunted down like game. This way. Seems they met some resistance at the farm. What a waste. But at least I know which way they went. There they are.
I tracked down those raiders.
You did? Well, nice work. So where are they?
A short way to the east, in a glade in the woods. They're dividing up their loot.
How many of them are there?
About 10 or so.
10? Fuck, I don't like those odds. I'll tell the lads we're gonna deal with them. Nice and quiet. Hey, to me, now! Listen up. Henry tracked down those bastards who raided the farm. They're dividing up their loot, not far from here. So let's pounce on them and give them what for. Move out!
Yeah. Quiet as the grave, as the stone would say.
That's a good one. I haven't heard that one since. Let me see.
At a loss for words, are you?
Stop it, please. Or I'll split my sides laughing.
I feel sorry for the stone. Imagine not being able to insult your own mother.
Ah, big mouth Jakey makes up for it.
I don't know how you managed without me for so long. Who was it needed their back covered last time?
Jakey.
Jakey,
Fuck you. I don't need minding.
we all cover each other's backs. That's how this band works.
Get used to it.
I've no intention of getting myself killed by a bunch of bandits who pillaged a farm for cabbage.
Well, I don't know. You might get mistaken for a cabbage yourself.
Aye, he's green enough.
I'll cover you, Jakey. Got it? Thanks a lot, Flesh.
Fight me and live. Right, we'll have a look around here for, clues. You can go and scout out that farm, Henry. Yeah.
They turned the place over good and proper. Poor rats. Kuno will want to know about this.
found this shield in a shed along with a letter. Seems like someone left us a message.
Show me that. I know that crest. It's the House of Zul. A dangerous lot, God's truth. I don't think we'll find anything else here. We'll stay here a while, just in case. And you should go and report to Radzig what happened.
What do you know about these Zuls?
A family of impoverished nobles. They fought in the Margraviate Wars in Moravia. But what they're after in Bohemia, I've no idea.
What do you know about these?
A family...
I'll ride outright.
Go! Ride like the devil.
Greetings. What business have you?
Sir, I'm afraid I have some bad news. We came across a burnt-out farm near Merhoyed.
Toth must have left some of his cronies behind.
Now, this is something else, sir. We found a shield there with a crest. A tricolour star on a blue field.
I know that coat of arms, unfortunately. It's the House of Zul.
There was a letter there, too.
Show it to me. Although I think I already know what it will say.
Here you are, sir.
Unscrupulous beast. Cruelty and malevolence. I challenge you to face me in a duel. Defend your honor. An ignominious wretch. Well, that's nice. Signed, Hagen Zul. As I expected, old grievances coming back to haunt me.
What happened between you and Sir Hagen?
That's a long story.
Well, I'd like to hear the whole story, sir, if you wouldn't mind.
Very well. It began in the first year of King Wenceslas's reign. He sent me to resolve a dispute between the Zuls and a neighboring house. It concerned land boundaries. The Zuls had refused to accept the ruling of the land court. His Majesty's position was a little shaky after his coronation. So a decision was made in the royal court to take radical action against any dissent in the kingdom. Since the Zul family was defying the king, we were obliged to punish them. Harshly, as the circumstances demanded. The head of the family, Hagen's father, was hanged, their castle razed to the ground and their property confiscated.
So, they're out for vengeance. But you acted according to the law.
Would it were that simple, lad. I was young and didn't realize the repercussions it would bring. For one thing, the king didn't use it to strengthen his position. On the contrary, he took less and less interest in such affairs.
How come?
Because he realized things would eventually sort themselves out. He promoted me to royal hetman, leaving him to pursue other interests. Secondly, my actions essentially created another band of robbers. When you strip a nobleman of his property, you can't expect him to take to begging. And thirdly, I wasn't aware at the time that the other party to the dispute was distantly related to me. Naturally, that made it look like I was acting in self-interest. If I'd known what I know today, I'd have been a lot more circumspect.
This Sir Hagen wants to challenge you to a duel.
Apparently, he still hopes I will agree to this kind of outmoded solution to disputes.
But surely you can't refuse a challenge to a duel. What about your honor?
Henry, my boy, honor is a splendid thing, and it should be held in high regard. But in time, you'll learn that some matters are not so straightforward.
Like this one?
Yes, like this one. The only reason Hagen is challenging me now is that he has a marked advantage. I've served as the royal hetman for the last 15 years and become a courtier. Hagen, meanwhile, was fighting in the Margraviate Wars in Moravia, and elsewhere as a mercenary. Which of us do you think would win a duel? That's not honor, but an abuse of honor. Commonplace opportunism. I don't blame him for trying, but I'm not such a fool as to play by his rules.
Well, what are we going to do about this?
You and Kuno's band will just have to deal with Hagen and prevent further mayhem. The longer he's marauding around these parts, the greater the chances that I'll finally have to succumb to his conditions.
So you'd fight him, if it came to that?
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. But maybe there's something else behind this challenge. Maybe it's coin he's after. Who knows?
All right. We'll deal with him, sir.
I'm sure you will, Henry.
I'd like to ask something about this Sir Hagen.
Sure.
What happened?
That's
Well, if I...
true. So, ever since then...
But you acted...
Yes. God be with you.
I'd been to see Sir Radzig.
So how did he take the news?
Well, he wasn't exactly happy about it.
I can well imagine. I wouldn't want the Zulls plundering my estates either. If I had any.
He wants us to carry on patrolling the area. There's nothing else for it.
That makes sense. I don't think he'll come to us. So we'll just have to hope we run into him. I'd like to check out the big forest to the north. And then carry on via Ujits.
Sure.
Mount up then, and let's go.
Please, can we stop for a bit? My arse is aching, and I've such a thirst I could drink a moat dry.
Same here.
What do you say, Chief?
Not to worry. We'll reach Ujits soon. We'll spend the night there.
I heard they've got a peculiar priest there. They say he drinks like the devil himself.
There's nothing strange about that. Every other man of the cloth is a swill pot.
Or a licher.
Or both.
Quiet. Listen.
Please, sir, help me.
Don't worry, lass. Nothing to fear. We're with Sir Radzig, in the manner of speaking. What's the matter?
These brigands came. The menfolk fled and left us there. They started pillaging the place, drinking whatever they could find and smashing things. I ran off, but the other girls, You've got to save them. Please, I beg you.
Easy, lass. Drinking, you say?
Aye, sir. They rolled the casks into the courtyard and started swilling like pigs from a trough.
Well, as our old cook used to say, if you want to make a proper goulash, you should soak the meat in ale for a while to soften it first.
Ah, let them get well soaked, and then go and chop them up. Good thinking, Chief.
But what about the girls? Those men, they were...
I'm sure your friends won't be getting nothing they ain't had before.
Well, unless they be nuns.
Kuno, the girl's right. If we delay, her friends will pay the price for it.
I appreciate your advice, Henry. But it's caution that'll keep you alive, not chivalrous deeds.
You promised Sir Radzig you protect his fiefdom, and that means his subjects too.
Come on, it's not like their lives are in any real danger. Hagen's men just want a bit of fun.
A bit of fun? Are you fucking serious? You know very well, Kuno, how innocent girls can end up after a bit of fun with animals like that. Well, I, for one, am not going to sit back and let it happen, even if I have to creep in there myself and try to rescue them.
Oh, all right. It's not the smartest thing to do. But let's go and tackle those fuckers if that's how you want it.
Good. Thanks.
Right. We better try and save those girls from Hagen's brutes. Let's go!
Who wants their back covered?
My right arm is stiff since last night. Cover that side for me.
It's all in the wrist dangler. Best to take off your gauntlet first, so as not to do yourself an injury. Still, it's always good to have your helmet well polished before battle.
Thanks for the invaluable advice, brothers.
I'll watch your right side then, yeah?
Thanks, Jakey.
Fuck. What's up, brother? Heart in your mouth.
Jesus, what the... What's that?
So, where's those damn we so gallant?
You want to have a scrap with me?
Scrap? That's putting it in vulgar. You've nothing better to do.
All right.
You're a man after my own heart. Tell you what, let's make it a lot more interesting.
Well, a wager like that will bring a bit of excitement into it at least.
You're very sure of yourself, ain't you? Well, you're not the only one. So let's do it. Go! Ow! Here! I'll have you. Go! Fucking hell!
He gave you a right hiding. I never thought he had it in him.
Did I ever tell you about the time St. Clear? You're not listening anyway. Come and catch some.
Huh?
A little friendly game?
Up for a game?
Always. I've got some nice little items to wager. What do you say?
Well, that depends what you have.
I've got a shield, a jupon, and a very fine embroidered hat. The shield's got the Rickfald crest, a nice piece, handles well, and tough enough to take quite a battering. Then I've got this combat jupon. Not only does it look good, but it'll help keep your skin in one piece. And then there's this noble hat. It's not a lot of use on the battlefield, but if you want to look elegant around town, it'll certainly make a big impression on folk. And the girls will be fainting at your feet.
I could use that jupon.
All right, but what will you wager? After all, fine things like these here don't just grow on trees.
This should be enough, right?
That'll do me. Let's play. May the best man win. Don't be such a coward. We'll see. Should I? Shouldn't I? No, I didn't.
Henry, come here. We don't fight.
Use your head, man. You'll lose everything. That'll happen. Better you than me. We'll see. Use your head, man. You'll lose everything. Thank heavens. If you made it, I might as well give up. We'll see. Finished. Use your head, man. You'll lose everything. I hope that's the end of it. Ah, come on, it's time I had a throw. Ah, that's how dice should roll. Your turn. Curva! Why the hell did I even start playing?
Henry!
Side of the river, and he said he could read minds too. And I was thinking, if them two met up,
How about that game then?
I do indeed.
Well, from the sounds of it, I'll play you for it.
All right, but after all, fine.
This should be...
That'll do me. Your fame precedes you, but you won't get the better of me. We'll see. This'll be the one. That's it. Your turn. That's all. That'll do me. Fucked again. Yeah.
Can we set out?
Sure. We'll head towards Sasau today. Jakey heard at the tavern in Ledechko that someone there saw some unfamiliar horseman.
You think they could be Hagens?
Maybe, maybe not. It's enough that they're not local. Could be the escort of some merchant caravan, of course. Jakey, go and scout ahead. Don't want us running into any surprises. See if there's a good spot for us to camp.
Right, Chief.
What's the matter with Jakey? No back talk.
I gave him a swig of schnapps at supper. Perhaps it made a man of him overnight.
Or that boar piss of yours took away his will to live.
Zastubi der wieczek potoki wina, Nestvenis nesere semezis viva, Nestvenis nesere pesca se slavi, Citali piem nesterai nam lavi. Hey! Genstia citale plemeno hadi, Pusti exodia bona gesradi,
All right, Henry. I'm coming, brother.
Second! That's the horse!
We're on the riverbank!
We have to get back to the bank, quick, before they cut us off.
The way we came!
That's gonna cost you your time. woods! We'll lose them there!
What now?
I don't know. They could be lying in wait for us anywhere. Someone must have snitched on us. We should split up and get the fuck out of here.
So every man for himself?
Just so.
But you think it was one of the band who betrayed us?
Look around for yourself. Who's missing? Jakey, that's who. I sent him on ahead, and he knows which way we're going. That little fucking Judas! When I get my hands on him, he'll rue the day he was born.
I'll try and track him down. You can't be too far away.
No, it's too risky. He could have Hagen's people all around him. All we need to do is get out of here in one piece.
Hey, Henry! I'd like a word with you.
Ah, Henry. The very man I wanted to see. I've got a wee job for you.
Oh yeah? What?
See, me and the other fellas play this game. Kuno gave us this old cheap ring. We call it the Ring of Bacchus.
Us?
Bacchus. Some pagan god of feasting or whatever. We call it that because when we're at the tavern, Kuno pays everything for the fella who's got the ring on him.
Sounds like a fun game. Where do I come in though?
Well, now the stone has the ring. I think the stone has had the ring long enough, if you get what I'm saying.
I'll help you. I've got nothing else to do anyway.
I want to steal the ring from the stone while he's asleep. But that fella sleeps with one eye open. He needs a little help with sleeping soundly. And I've got a feeling you're the kind of man who knows how to arrange that kind of thing.
Supposing I steal it for you?
If you think you can do it, whatever. Either steal the ring or bring me that sleeping potion and I'll do it.
Stefan.
What is it you want to know, youngster?
I'm curious how you ended up in Kuno's band.
You noticed I don't exactly fit in with this pack of felons and reprobates, huh? Unfortunately, you can't always choose your company, can you?
No, I suppose not. But how did you come to be with them?
Oh, well, I'd love to tell you, but Kuno insisted we keep that between the two of us. And I'm not one to break a confidence.
Oh. But, well, Kuno said it was you who wanted to keep it secret.
Really? Are you sure about that? You must have misunderstood him.
No, I don't think so. At least... Oh, never mind. So, where did you live before? What did you do?
I used to live in a town before. Back there I was doing something very different. Although, now I think of it, maybe it wasn't that different in a way. If you know what I mean.
Actually, I haven't the foggiest idea what you mean. You don't give anything away, do you?
Me? I'm an open book, lad. Ask me anything you like, and I'll give you an honest answer. Go on.
Maybe another time. My head's starting to spin.
As you wish. Shame, though. There's nothing I enjoy more than conversing.
What do you think about this business with Hag and Zul?
I'd say you and Sir Radzig are very fortunate to have Kuno on the job. He's a master at handling such matters.
Is he? Why's that?
Dealing with bastards like Hag and Zul demands both courage and sharp wit. Not a commonplace combination, but Kuno has both in abundance.
I pinched the ring from the stone. Here it is.
Well now, Henry, I hope you'll take it as a compliment when I say you're one sneaky fucker. Here's a little something for your trouble.
Tell me something.
What do you want to know?
How did you and Jan end?
Me and my brother been riding with coin men since we was little. This was just another mercenary band for us. But Kuno seemed like a decent kind of fellow who'd treat us fair.
What do you think about this business with Hag and Zul?
Well, I'm worried Kuno is underestimating Hagen. I was at the siege of Lansenbach with the both of them, so I know a thing or two about it. Hagen's got all these noble airs and graces. These knights that talk of honor and glory. Kuno reckons they're like lost lambs on the battlefield, and he's usually right. But that Hagen ain't no lamb. He's a cold-blooded killer, by all accounts.
Can you tell me something?
Why not? I haven't been to confession for a while.
How did you end up in...
It's nothing new for me and my brother. We've been fighting for coins since we were old enough to carry swords. Last time we rode with one Lombardian by the name of Collini. All over Bavaria, Austria and that.
What happened? Did you fall out?
Nah, we just wanted to come back to Bohemia. You know how it is. When no one understands a word you say, it ain't worth a damn.
You and Petter seem very close.
As brothers should be, lad.
Nah, to tell the truth, I'd never have guessed the two of you came from the same mother.
Oh, we've got the same ma, all right. I ain't got no ma, and neither does he. And the same goes for our pa. There's probably Satan himself.
Oh. I'm a bit confused. You're not actually brothers?
We might be. We might not. A band of mercenaries found us in a village when I was still a baby, and Petter hardly walking. Playing in the dirt together we was. Their leader took a shine to us for some reason. He took us away and raised us up. Raised us with swords for playthings and ale for mother's milk. A few years later, he was killed in Saxony. The band fell apart, but we joined another right away. That's the way it's been ever since, over and over.
So you two never had... well,
a normal life. We ride from one fight to another, risking our necks and killing who they pay us to kill. That's normal for us. Always has been.
What do you think?
That's a very tricky matter, I can tell you. Them Zulus are well known among us mercenaries. Hagen and his two brothers fought in the Margraviate Wars. That's quite a feather to have in your cap. But on the other hand, they've got their weaknesses.
Like what?
They still like to think of themselves as high and mighty lords. Kuno got over that, thank Christ. And he treats us all like equals.
You think Hagen's men have no great love for him?
Well, I'd say they're running before his whip more than following his flag, if you understand me.
Aye. I see what you're getting at. I see everyone made it back in one piece.
Thank Christ. Someone up there must like us. Somehow we always manage to get out of these sticky situations.
Well, someone up there, or someone down there.
Shit, right. Well, the main thing is we made it.
So we'll go patrolling again?
We will, but not you.
What? Why not?
I found out where Jakey is. I want you to grab him and beat everything he knows about Hagen out of him.
Where is he hiding?
He isn't, a little shit. He's drinking away his 30 pieces of silver in some alehouse, bold as brass. The inn on the meadow, or something like that.
The inn in the glade?
Yeah, that's the one.
What are you going to be doing in the meanwhile?
We'll go on patrol as normal. It could be a trick, you see, to lure us into a trap.
But what if they're waiting to spring a trap on me?
It could well be, Henry, so you should be very careful. But one thing's for sure, Jakey won't be there forever. And someone's got to go and check it out.
Well, that sounds like a good plan. But why me?
For one thing, you're reliable. And for another, you're not likely to wring his neck on sight. Which can't be said for the rest of us.
I'll get going then.
Go. And when you find him, deal with him however you see fit. Just make sure you find out what he knows first.
Right, Chief. looking for a young fella by the name of Jakey.
A cheeky-looking stripling.
That'll be him, all right.
Well, I don't like to snitch on my guests. It ain't good for business. Since it's you, I'll make an exception.
Thanks, Andrew.
Well, I was gonna throw him out on his ear at first. He strolls in here like some lord, ordering people around. He's nothing but a snot-nosed brat. But then, he showed me the weight of his purse, and, well, business is business. He stayed here a couple of days. Yesterday evening, he was boozing here, and then went off to the woods with some wench.
To the woods? That's a very broad term in these parts.
Someone said they saw them heading south across the meadow. There's pine woods there and cliffs, and that's where they went. The girl's father was here with her, a merchant. As soon as he noticed she was gone, he went off to look for her. You might meet him.
All right. Thanks.
Take care.
God's blessings.
God be with you. God be with you.
Greetings, good knight. How may I serve you?
What's going on here?
Marie, my daughter has run away. That's what's going on. Some people at the inn said they saw her running this way with some fellow. And not far from here I found a scarf.
I see. Why don't you follow her then?
I would, of course. Only they said the fellow was armed. And I've got a horse and wagon here. I might get robbed while my back was turned.
No, you can't trust anyone these days, that's a fact.
You're telling me, lad.
We have something in common. I'm looking for that fellow who ran off with your daughter.
What? You know him?
A little.
Is he dangerous?
Oh, I'd be very worried in your shoes. This Jakey is a damn dangerous robber.
Jesus Christ! Jakey, you say? Doesn't sound like the name of an outlaw.
No, that's what makes him so dangerous. People underestimate him. I can have a look for your Maria, if you want.
You do that?
Of course. Helping my neighbour in his hour of need is my Christian duty.
Thank you. Thank you kindly.
You said you found her scarf here somewhere?
Yes. Right past the shrubbery there. Hanging on a tree.
I'll have a look that way then.
God be with you. Maria! Please!
Looks like Hansel and Gretel went this way.
Maria! Marushka!
Untie me! I'm glad you're here, Henry. I thought I'd be stuck here till Judgment Day.
What the fuck are you doing here?
I picked up this wench at the inn, see? And we wanted to go somewhere quiet. Only the bitch whacked me on the head with a rock and fucked off with all my coin.
Did she now? And which way did she go?
I haven't a clue, but I reckon as far away from her father as she can get. She won't be going back in a hurry. I've met some mad wenches in my time, but that one was a piece of work. She could have just asked me for coin, instead of trying to smash my skull right away, and then to leave me like this.
I'd say that's the pot calling the kettle black.
Listen, Henry, that thing with Hagen, I didn't want to, really. But they kept threatening me. And then they offered me coin. Jesus, Henry, I've never seen a pile of coin like that in my life. Kuno wouldn't give me as much as half a groschen for a cheap wench.
Yeah, my heart bleeds. Enough. Tell me where I can find Hagen.
Hagen? Lord Zool? Yeah, I'll tell you, Henry. We're still mates, right?
I don't know if I'd go as far as mates, but let's just say I understand.
I knew you and me would understand each other. So you'll let me go if I tell you?
Let you go? That rock must have really scrambled your brains.
Henry, I'm really sorry. I swear. Those fellas scared the wits out of me.
I can believe that. But why didn't you tell us about it? You didn't have to betray us.
I don't know. I was confused. Please, let me go.
First, tell me where Hagen is, and then we'll see.
I won't say anything as long as I'm tied up. I know how that goes. I'll be left here for the crows.
I know what you mean, Jakey. Kuno's no less of a bastard than that Hagen. They're all birds of a feather.
Yeah, right? But why ride with him then?
Because Kuno's on my side. I didn't pick him, and maybe Sir Radzig wouldn't have either if he had a choice. But one thing I know. If you don't tell me where Hagen is, more innocent people will suffer.
Oh, I suppose you're right. Hagen's planning to raid some village. Samapesh, I think. He's gonna go there in person, along with what's left of his band. So, are you gonna untie me now?
I'll untie you, all right? And take you where you belong.
What? What are you saying? Where?
To jail.
But you can't. We had an agreement.
We didn't agree on anything. My conscience is clear.
Fresh bread! Come and get it! Man cannot...
Stefan,
What is it you want?
tell me something.
What do you want to know?
Your brother was...
He did he? Did he tell you what?
Yeah, he said you missed...
Ha ha! Miss Bohemia! That's good. Ha ha ha! But it ain't far from the truth. Jan missed any place where he wouldn't have a band of furious Italians looking to skin him alive.
Ah. He did something to anger them.
Oh, aye. While Collini was away, he broke into the trunk where the coin was kept. Took it all and wagered it with a fellow who claimed his bear knew how to dance, and lost it all.
What? The bear really did dance?
Aye. The costliest Chardash we ever watched. We had to get the fuck out of there before Collini came back, and had the two of us dancing, on the end of a rope.
Let me guess. It's about that ring?
Yeah. You gave it to Fletch, right?
Yeah.
That's a shame. I had my eye on it. Any idea where he put it? He definitely ain't got it on him.
Sorry, not a clue.
Look here. If you could get it back from him and bring it to me, I'll give you something for your trouble.
Sounds fair enough. I want that ring. I believe you still have it?
Ha! First he brings me the ring, then he wants it back.
Well, those are the rules of the game, right?
True enough. Only I did the sensible thing and hid it carefully. It's not so much about the free booze. I'm just a competitive bastard by nature. But just to make things interesting, here's a wee clue for you. Find the dead standing among the living and turn your eyes heavenwards.
I'm looking for the ring, but Stefan has hidden it somewhere. Any idea where it might be?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, you know something. Where he hid it. Birds? Something to do with birds?
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me any more than that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, shit. Where's that damn ring? Someone must have pinched it. And what the fuck is this? Someone stole that ring from me. You wouldn't happen to have any idea who?
Mm-hmm.
Was it you?
Mm-hmm.
And will you give it back to me?
Mm-mm.
Let me guess. You want me to figure out the message on that paper?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're on. Where did you learn to read and write? If the others could at least read a little, you could communicate with them. Ah, sure. I suppose it suits you fine this way too.
Mm-hmm.
So, back to the riddle. I haven't a clue what...
No.
Well...
What? How was it you said again? That the letter B is a wench with a belly on her.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't it fate that Bearman starts with a pregnant woman? Know any Latin insults? Fute futueo et cabalum tuum?
I've got the ring.
Kuno won't know what hit him. I'll drink the alehouse dry just to get my money's worth. Here, have a drink yourself, on me.
Thanks. Enjoy.
What's happening?
Like I said, maybe you might help me out.
It wouldn't by any chance have to do with the ring I got for your brother?
Ha! How did you guess?
Put it down to my amazing powers of deduction?
So, are you gonna get it for me? It won't be easy, mind. Jan thinks I might try to steal it. The mistrustful bastard.
All right. Why the hell not?
Great. Best thing is just to pinch it. He watches me like a hawk. But you...
I got the ring.
Brilliant. Jan will have a fit. Here, have this for your trouble. You've earned it.
What's up, Kuno?
It's about that accursed ring.
What, again?
Aye. I heard the fellas had you running around for them. You mustn't let them take advantage of you. Anyway, it's all gotten a bit out of hand. I wanted to raise morale, but instead I've got them at each other's throats.
Yeah, true enough. But what do you want me to do?
I want you to get the ring from Petter and bring it to me. I can't just take it back, see? They'd lose their trust. Besides, Petter's hidden it somewhere. He won't be willing to give it up.
All right. But I hope this is the last time. I'll bring you the ring and the game's over.
Don't worry, I've done with this game. In future, I'll just buy the fellas a drink now and again. Let them play their own games.
Look here, Petter. About the ring I gave you.
Yeah? What about it?
I need to have it back.
Well, that's tough. And don't think you can pinch it from me. I've got it well hidden.
Come on. It's not playing the game if you go and hide it somewhere.
Fair enough. All right, I'll give you a clue. Steeples guard the fields in a line. On one of them, across, you'll find. Off you go from east to west. Find the steeple. That's your test.
Good heavens. Did you just make that up?
Sure I did. Didn't know I was a poet, eh?
What can I say? I'm flabbergasted. I'm confused.
Good. Work it out if you can.
Never mind. I'll be going.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Here it is.
Oh, good. Finally there'll be peace around here. And listen, I won't invite you for a drink, since it's not the right occasion. But I've got something special for you.
Thank you kindly. I found Jakey, and I know what Hagen is planning.
Spit it out, then.
Zul plans to raid Samapesh, and he wants to lead the attack himself.
I see. And what about that treacherous little bastard?
I took him to the Ratai jailhouse.
What will happen to him?
That's up to Sir Radzig. Considering what he did, he'll be lucky to get out of it alive.
I'm not so sure. Radzig always had a soft heart. He got me off the gallows after all. Saddle up now. We'll ride to Samapesh right away.
All right.
There they are. I can see Zul's colours. It seems they want a parley, sir.
Parlay, eh? Right then. Let's parlay.
God be with you, Sir Kuno.
My respects, Sir Hagen.
I don't believe I've had the pleasure since the siege of Lansenbach, wasn't it?
An age ago, that was. In those days, we fought under the same banner.
We did. And even today, we may yet part friends. After all, my quarrel is not with you, but with Cobula.
The thing is, your quarrel with Lord Cobula is my affair, since he tasked me with keeping order in his lands. And you, Hagen, you are disturbing that order.
No offense, sir, but you are just a mercenary whose main concern is keeping order in his purse. My dispute with Radzig Cobula concerns a higher ideal. Cobula shamed my family over a trifling misdemeanor. He hanged my father, razed our castle to the ground, gave our property away to his family and cronies. And for that, I demand just retribution. But you don't have to stand in my way, Kuno. I'm well aware why you served Radzig. You owe him a favor. And from what I've heard, it's not the first time you've had to pay him back. It won't be the last either. The fact of the matter is, you fight Cobula's battles for him, and you've little or nothing to show for it. If you accept my offer, on the other hand, you can ride away from here a rich man. What do you say, sir?
Kuno, you can't do it.
You're making a common mistake, Henry. There's a difference between what a man can't do and what he ought not to do. In this case, the difference is the size of Hagen's offer.
Have you no honor at all? To sell yourself to the highest bidder?
The only bidder. Radzig never offered me a groschen.
Because you owe him a favor.
And this is the third time I've had to pay him back. My conscience is clean.
Tell me, Kuno, what do you think makes a good mercenary?
If I knew that, I'd have a marble palace in Florence. I'd sit all day on a golden throne, drinking wine. But I suppose for a start, he should be skilled in warfare.
Oh, that's how you see it. But what about those who enlist your service? What they value is loyalty and fulfilling your duty. A mercenary who turns after coin like a vane after the wind isn't worth his salt.
An eloquent speech, but like I said, I've paid Radzig back quite enough. So if you don't mind, I'll take that pile of coin and fuck off.
And then what? Do you think anyone will ever hire you again after they hear of this?
With that much money, I won't have to worry about that for a while. Anyway, everyone will understand how things really stand.
Do you really think Sir Radzig and others like him will share your interpretation of mercenaries' honor? Not a chance. Everyone will see you for the swindler and turncoat you are, and Sir Radzig and I will make damn sure you won't come out of this smelling of roses.
Are you threatening me?
Call it what you like.
Fine. It seems you have learned something after all.
You'll stay, then?
Obviously.
Well, it didn't seem so obvious to me.
Come on now, Henry. Don't take offense. And let's go and deal with Hagen. It's true, Sir Hagen. This is not the first time I've paid Radzig back. Nor will it be the last. But then, he did save my neck from the noose. So I'll be long beholden to him. I'll make no bargain with you. But I will take your silver.
You would fight me? You're a damn fool.
I've no wish to fight, but neither do you. Otherwise you wouldn't have tried to buy me off. So it seems that we're evenly matched.
Let's see who fortune favors.
So be it. God damn!
Take that!
Bring your neck, you cunt!
Come.
Fuck you!
You're
finished. All right.
I think I'll let you off.
You fuck.
Finish this. Ah. Send your prayer. Not done with it yet. Where could we harness you? You must be here somewhere. What's the matter? Come on.
You won't last long.
Had enough? Is that all you've got?
That hurts.
I have sworn. You're dead. Come here, Billy Liver.
Well, that's that. Good work, lads.
Ha ha! Whore sons! Well, now it's time for a drink.
The Lord be praised.
Sir, we got rid of Zul.
Finally, some good news. Tell me all about it.
We caught up with Hagen in the fields near Merhoyed, and there was a skirmish. But before that, Hagen tried to bribe Kuno.
Tell me, how did you persuade Kuno to stay on our side?
You're assuming Kuno would have gone for Hagen's offer?
I'm quite certain he gave it some thought. Considering I don't pay him a single groschen, probably quite a lot of thought.
You're quite right.
So, how did you persuade him?
I simply appealed to his honor, sir.
Simply. Knowing Kuno, I'd say it would be simpler to persuade the devil to go to church on Sunday.
That's not far off the mark. But maybe he's not that bad after all. In the end, he did stay and fight for you.
Any losses on our side? Kuno's men? How did they fare?
We were fortunate. Everyone survived. Including Kuno.
That's how it should be. Anyway, you deserve a reward for your efforts. And thank you, Henry. Once again, I'm beholden to you. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Thank you, sir. But I'm sure you'd have managed without me.
Don't be so modest, lad. Since that catastrophe at Skalitz, I don't have many people left that I can rely on. Best go and rest now.
Thank you, sir.